Does OCD make you feel responsible for everything and anything? We're going to talk all about it. Stay tuned. That's what's up next. Hi, my name is Natasha Daniels. I'm a therapist. I make videos for people with anxiety or OCD. And today I want to talk to you about responsibility OCD. Responsibility OCD is the overwhelming feeling that you are responsible for keeping people out of harm's way, to making sure nothing bad happens to other people, to preventing bad things from happening in general. Is that you? Do you struggle with that? And I do think that we start to name different types of OCD different things like harm OCD, responsibility OCD. And I do feel like responsibility OCD and harm OCD are pretty much the same thing. With responsibility OCD, it is the fear, though, that you might accidentally do something that causes harm or something bad to happen to other people. And so let's talk about what this can look like. It can really look different for each one of you. It might say, oh my gosh, you dropped that thing, or you didn't pick up that piece of paper on the floor, and someone's going to trip on it and they're going to fall and they're going to hurt themselves, and that'll be your fault. Or you didn't wash your hands well enough and you're walking around touching doorknobs and you're going to spread your germs, and that's going to be your fault. It doesn't matter how it shows up. It's the overall feeling that I might do something or not do something that's going to cause harm to other people. Maybe I didn't pray for them enough, or maybe I had a bad thought about them. But the end result is the same when we're talking about responsibility, is because of what I did, something bad's going to happen. So, how do we deal with that? Well, first, I think it's important to know that this is a common OCD theme, because when you know that things are common, that there's names for them, that other people are struggling with them, it helps you realize that you're not alone. And it also helps you recognize that this is OCD. This isn't legitimate or valid, that this is OCD. Because OCD can really make you wonder, but what if that does hurt someone? Or what if I am responsible? But with OCD, there's an over responsibility. It makes you worry about things and think about things that nobody else has to worry or think about. They're things that are so outside of your control, but OCD is so good at convincing you and lying to you to make you think that you have that power and you have that control. So it gives you all sorts of what if scenarios. Oh my gosh, you did that thing. What if that turns into this? You need to go back and do that, because what if that happens? And so you're bombarded with these thoughts. Or what if I need to do this because then that might cause this to happen to this person or to the world. You don't have that much power. And having that much responsibility is overwhelming, because we already have enough things that we are responsible for. Responsible for getting up, for keeping ourselves safe, for getting dressed and going to school or work. We're responsible for all sorts of stuff, but we are not responsible for saving the world from catastrophes. And all the little things that OCD says could happen, the what ifs, are so out of the scope of the day-to-day life that you're living. And you can get stuck on a hamster wheel doing so many compulsions or avoiding things, in order to make sure that you are keeping you, your family, your loved ones, people in general, and the world safe at large. And the fact is, none of us have that control. You do not, I do not. But OCD loves to lie to you and say that you do have control. And so you handle this type of OCD theme the same way you handle all other OCD themes. In a slow way, you stop doing what OCD wants you to do, which is very scary and can feel very overwhelming. And you start doing exposures. So work with a therapist who does ERP, exposure response prevention. Get an OCD therapist, or start learning how to play offense and defense with your OCD. I have a whole video on how to play offense and defense right here. Check that out and learn, how do you not give OCD what OCD wants? Because here's the reality. When you follow OCD's rules and you do all the things, or you avoid all the things that OCD says you need to do in order to keep the world, people you love, safe, you're just going to get more and more rules to follow, because OCD has no boundaries. It doesn't stop. It continues to grow and give you more thoughts and more behaviors that you might be doing that put other people at risk, and more compulsions and more rules. And before you know it, Your whole life is absorbed in doing these compulsions instead of living life and enjoying it with the people that you love around you. So, recognize what is responsible OCD, recognize your inability to control the world and all the bad things that do happen in this world, because that's just realistic and that is just life. And hopefully, work with an OCD therapist or do exposures to play offense and defense and push back on what OCD wants you to do. When you push back, you get your life back. Well, I hope that you find the sparkle in everything you do, and I'll talk to you again next Thursday. Take care.